everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Fourtress of, a podcast about movies, TV shows, video games, and lots of pop culture nerd things. My name is Oscar B, one of your hosts today, and with me per usual are two of your other hosts. We got Brian, also known as the Beard and New Reliable, and the Spider-Man villain, Mr. Negative on a Dragon Ball Z Redemption arc, and Devin, you know him as the Brains and Mr. Nowhere.
Woo-woo.
How y'all doing today? Devin?
Pretty good.
Is it hot there, or is that another reason why you are not wearing a shirt?
It is, yeah, it's humid as hell. So I just got done playing soccer, and it's basically just being in a sauna, but also moving around when you're like having to run a lot while you're in the sauna. It's really not fun.
We're so casual on this podcast, we actually just do it naked. In case you guys wanted a little bit of lore behind the scenes. That's the
reason why we don't have a video version right now.
Onlyfans.com/the Fourtress of.
Oh my God.
Pray to God the fire alarm doesn't go off.
We should claim that.
Yes. I am currently shirtless. I'm not pantsless. So that's
all right.
Key thing.
Yes, listeners. So it's just the three of us this week. Bit of a short, quick, little like newsy, fun, more game stuff. You'll see in the title. Obviously, you know. But yeah, with that though, as usual, check the time codes for any spoilers or stuff you want to skip. Blah blah blah. Guys, should we move into our first topic segment of the week?
Let's do it.
News talk.
First piece of news. This is reported by Variety. Sony, they announced and confirmed that they are in fact making a sequel to the Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg Uncharted movie. It's happened. It's moving forward. That's all we know.
So I looked this up, and I'm actually so surprised because I figured that this movie was a complete flop. I did watch it on Netflix when it finally came out, and not watch it in theaters because why the fuck would I do that? And I was like, this movie's okay. And then I moved on with my life, and that was kind of whatever.
Honestly, I felt the same way. Like, I think my expectations being so low, I kind of enjoyed it. Like, it wasn't horrible. You know, I was like, oh,
it was a blockbuster adventure film.
Completely
you know what I mean?
miscast. Completely miscast on every level, but it was kind of fun, you know?
And that was the thing. Like, it wasn't
just like, you know, we got to get the A-listers, just shoehorn them in there.
Right.
Bad, horrible casting.
And it's one of those things that, like, if I was probably a huge fan of Uncharted, I probably would be really pissed off. But as someone that just likes, you know, action movies, I was like, okay, sure, this is fun.
Right.
But I still assumed that it just flopped for that reason because it was like, who the fuck cares about this franchise if they're going to get it wrong like this? Apparently, the movie did decent though. It marketed for like 120 million and made like 400 million, something like that. So it definitely like doubled its profit.
Listen, they have the whole market on like archaeology adventure movies, which is a cool thing. Like, I mean, National Treasure, you know, Indiana Jones.
Jones, yeah.
It's a good thing to put in a movie. It's a good thing.
It was just Indiana Jones, but Shia LaBeouf wasn't drunk for it, so it was a win.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So, cool. Maybe they'll learn some lessons. I doubt it. Mark Wahlberg's still gonna.
What if they just recast everybody?
That would be the best.
That would be great.
It'd be hilarious.
That would be great. Because honestly, like, there's some story things that I was like, whatever in that first movie. But like, honestly, the casting is probably the biggest issue with that first movie. And so, like, if you do change that, you know, that's not a terrible idea.
That's kind of an issue too.
They won't, because
Tom Holland doesn't look,
just makes you millions of dollars anyways.
And like, he's kind of like, he's giving the Daniel Radcliffe kind of situation where it's like he's gonna look the same for probably the most of his life.
Whole life.
Yeah, until he hits like 80. So like, he's not gonna look older in this movie. I don't think he can grow facial hair. So like, I don't I don't know what will help with this.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just not. It's again. I think when I first heard it, I was like, dope, because he looks exactly like young Nathan Drake in Uncharted 3, and they should have went that route, and they didn't, for obvious reasons. Like, you're gonna get Tom Holland, he's gonna be the main star. You're not gonna make him a flashback character, you know. But it is what it is.
You know who would have been a great Nathan Drake back in his day? A younger Dane Cook.
Ooh.
Oh God!
Yeah, he's got the weird humor. He looks like he could be a serial killer.
If he was just a little more serious, maybe. Like,
I mean, I feel like Nathan Drake is not very serious from what I know about Uncharted. He loves to tell a one-liner.
Terrible. That's not horrible. Yeah, but I think there may be too many fucking isms from him. You know,
what about like Ryan Reynolds?
Just like his mannerisms and shit. I think.
Yeah, what about, like,
but it's not terrible.
11 Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds probably would have worked if he wasn't in everything on God's green earth, but. Well, he's got the one-liners for sure. Because it's just Deadpool again. I feel like what I know from Uncharted is he loves to act like he didn't just murder 800 people.
Yeah, basically.
He'll make a
Basically.
butt joke like he didn't just kill like a bunch of natives, and it's like
Yeah.
okay,
True, true.
Yeah. So fun. We'll see what they do. We'll see what they do. You're gonna
I'll
keep trying all this stuff. You know?
watch it when it comes on Netflix again.
Yeah, same. Unless I hear it's great, which the first one I didn't, so that's why I didn't. But yeah. All right. Next piece of news. This is look, in a era of horrible gaming layoffs we've been hearing, here's one that's potentially a good thing. And this comes from the Elden Ring creator. What's his name? I'm gonna mispronounce it. Miyazaki. I'm gonna say it just Miyazaki. That's his last name.
We'll skip the first one.
He talked about how obviously like there's been crazy layoffs throughout the industry, and he talked about how basically as long as he is in charge of From Software, he's not going to allow that at that studio, which is like dope. I hope it actually
right. I hope that works. But he is the first person to say that, which I think will say a lot about that company as a whole, that they value the talent that they have. Because I mean, we all know that FromSoft is making some of the biggest, best games coming out of all time. That they're putting their employees over profit. Which no one to this day has said yet. So I'm proud of him so far, but words are words. We will need to see actions. We do know the DLC of Elden Ring just came out, so that's important.
But I hear is very good. You know, it's amazing.
I'm sure it's made
game,
$10 billion already.
Yeah. I would love to see more and more companies coming out and like doing this. You know, protect the people that are fucking doing the work, man.
Because I mean, that's the biggest thing. It's like at the end of the day, like I know that it kind of sucks because like we're in an age where like we know where gaming began, and that's what kind of sucks so hard about it. It's like it's not like movies and stuff. Like movies have existed way before we have existed, but video games really haven't. So it's like we know the like grassroots and like guerrilla bit that this kind of like went through. So we know that it's like the art was always first. So it really sucks to watch something get like commercialized. Like I think this might be the first media that us as like a generation has seen get commercialized and like have that drastic shift of like, we now care about money and we don't care about what we did this to begin with for.
Very true.
So it's kind of like sad to see it that way. And I guess it's like, it's nice to see people like going back to the roots of like, yeah, we're doing this because we love this. That's the reason we do this. Right. So
bring back the golden age of video games where they made them to make them different, to be different and to do something unique.
We all know Blizzard before Activision. We all know BioWare before EA. We all know that like back when they were doing it because they loved to do it. They were just a bunch of nerds that liked video games and wanted to make them, right?
Yeah.
And then the damn the hedge funds and the freaking what's the other word for them? What's the one that's evil? We're lucky they haven't really come to the video game industry yet. I don't think private equity, where they like look to like strip it for parts.
One is evil.
I think right now it's probably just like investment firms just buying, buying into games and stuff. But,
yeah. So that's awesome. Hopefully that continues, and because it's been tough. It's been tough a couple of years, but we'll see. Moving on. Speaking of tough, couple years. But we're talking about Blade again. The fucking movie.
Oh.
The movie that will never come out. I'm saying it now. It's never going to fucking happen. So according to Marvel, they are reportedly planning on just writing a new script over the summer. Because we just talked about last week how they lost its second director. And so now instead of just finding a new director, they're going to get a new script, and then that will go out to directors. This movie's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. They're never gonna do it.
So I feel like I heard this like before this like specific article came out that they were going to go ahead and rewrite. I thought the writer was already committed to rewriting before the director actually left. So that's one thing. They're still announcing casting for this movie, which is kind of crazy. Because it's like I don't even want to like sign on to it. Like I would hate to be like, especially like say
it. They're like, hey, we want you for Blade. What?
It's like, I want me for Blade? I don't think I'm gonna guarantee that paycheck. You know what I mean? Like,
do they still have Mahershala Ali?
Somehow,
he's gonna be 70 years old.
He's got maybe 7 more months of this bullshit before he probably goes and does 8 more movies in this time.
I know he's pissed. I know he is set.
I'm telling you, the guarantee of the Marvel money is the only thing that's keeping him even on the string this hard.
That Marvel money.
Oh, man. I know. Yeah, I know.
Did you
I also think he does really want to play like that character.
Sure.
Like I think he would honestly. He'd be good at it. He'd kill it.
I think he would be good.
But I just don't understand. You had 3 Blade movies. Yeah, 2 out of the 3 were good. But like, what's wrong with the script? What the fuck is going on? Just copy the movie. Who gives a fuck? We don't care.
And that's what's so kind of funny is like I'm gonna probably talk about Cyberpunk a lot because I've been playing it recently. But it's like with like things like that are very like edgy and like kind of intense and kind of gory and whatnot. Like we know how to write this story in 2024. Like we know what that looks like, and it's so easy to write.
Vampires.
Right.
Just get a motherfucker killing some vampires, man.
I think that especially with like 2000 nostalgia being so high right now that I feel like you can even make a movie that's still kind of like Wesley Snipes' Blade and it would still be like well received because people are like, holy shit, this is back in like
Oh my God, if they made Blade 4, 1000%.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like think about the Matrix and stuff like that. Like anything that has a club with some hyper pop going in it, people are gonna go crazy for it. Like
yeah, it's kind of
just get Wesley Snipes. That'd be
get old ass.
Oh my God, could you imagine?
Like, listen, bro, we got more taxes for you to evade. Come on in here.
He'd probably crush it. He would probably crush it.
I believe it. I truly do.
He'd be so good.
He's got to show up in the movie. At this point, call him up. You got time,
right? Please do. Yeah, we'll see. This to me reads either it's not going to happen or it's going to turn into a 4-episode Disney Plus show.
It just sucks so bad because Blade is the reason that the Marvel Universe even exists in the first place, and this is how it's going to go out on a fucking whimper of a movie.
It's pretty sad. Yeah,
maybe they could bring him back, but I doubt it. I mean, I think we're all just kind of over it at this point. So,
yeah, I mean, I don't think they can do Mahershala. Sadly, as much as I want him, I don't think they can.
Not for any long term. It could be a spinoff, and then they just recast them after this, and that'd be it. Like,
right? Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, that movie will come out in never. Moving on to our next and final piece of news. Brian, you saw the movie Megan, right?
I sure did. I thought it was very good. I would recommend.
Yeah, I think you're the only one that I know that saw it. But yeah, I only heard good things about it. No, I just meant like in this current who I'm talking to right now.
Yeah, y'all should watch it. I would recommend it. I do think as far as horror movies go, it's decent.
It looked fun. But apparently, the Universal announced a movie called Soulmate with an 8 in the name because Megan. It's a spinoff, but not just any spinoff. It is what they're calling a quote erotic thriller. So are we thinking like 50 Shades of Grey, but also. So it's going to be an adult robot now.
It's basically just Ex Machina.
Yes, 1,000%. They already made this movie, and it's an amazing movie. But honestly, this is hilarious.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like I think their take on it's going to be interesting because Megan. One thing about Megan is it's got a weird playfulness to be like not a super like jokey movie. But it's got jokey sections to it. So I assume it's going to be the same way. I mean, like you said, this is a tale as old as time. We all know that like the only reason technology advances is for war or for sex. In this case, it's going to be for sex. Much. So we already know. We're already pretty close to this. We can go into detail about those kinds of things that have been shown off. That is like, we are getting very close to being able to have your own AI computer. I don't know, girlfriend. A la Detroit Become Human.
Sexbot.
Yeah, and we're never going to need to see another human ever again because you're going to be fucking computers.
Hold on, let me read the quote that they've described like the movie's premises as, quote, in an attempt to create a truly sentient partner, he inadvertently turns a harmless love bot into a deadly soulmate. It's not a love bot. It's a sex bot. It's a sex bot.
She's going to get jealous.
It's a love bot.
Sex bot have like the motors
it's a sex
that are going to make them into a crazy, killing machine. I mean, Ex Machina had that like perfect exoskeleton thing. I mean,
look at Megan. It's going to be like that. It's just going to be a person, basically.
Well, no, but like a sex bot. I mean, you don't have to. That doesn't have to be too articulate with like the joints.
I think they probably wanted to make it more deep, right? Because you can just get a butt and that be it. That's available now if you want that.
Man,
but I think it's kind of like going to a strip club where it's like I think men actually want to talk to it as well. Like that's important.
Right.
What happens like 20 years from now when you're sitting down, you're meeting some friends, and then one guy just brings his like, oh, this is my girlfriend, and it's just like very clearly.
It's just a fucking.
That already happens with literal dolls. Have you not seen that? Oh my god, have you not watched like those True Life episodes? Yeah.
No.
There's a dude that like he had like a whole Instagram for his wife, and it's like just a doll. Because there's like, oh god, this is way off tangent, so I'm gonna make it quick. But it's like, there's like these dolls I think they're called real dolls, something like that. But they're supposed to look like quote unquote realistic. They can't move, they don't really articulate, but they got a vagina, and they're also, they got a face and hair and stuff like that.
Can you call it a vagina if it's fully made out of silicone?
No, that I don't know. That is that goes into deeper things that I'm not ready to get into right now. But yeah. So and there was a man that's like he fell in love with one. He was like dressing her in like clothes and stuff, and like buying her shoes, and it's like that is a piece of plastic. She's not sentient.
Yeah, they also said this movie will be an exploration of relationships and loneliness. So that's clear.
Interesting. Okay, wait. So maybe it's about incels. She's just gonna kill all.
Honestly,
the incels.
I was gonna say that's not bad.
I was about to say I'm interested.
She just goes on a tangent and kills them all, or she makes them. The worst thing of all, she pushes them. She's chasing them, and they actually have to go outside their house and like just into the sunlight.
They actually have to touch grass.
No, that is a horror movie if I've ever heard of one.
That's so funny. So that's hilarious. That's quite funny. We'll see who they cast as this beloved sex bot. I mean, love bot.
That's wild.
It's gonna be Scarlett Johansson.
I wonder what it's gonna be called. I mean, yeah, she would never do it. But
I don't know if y'all heard about that, but Scarlett Johansson got mad at ChatGPT.
Oh, I did hear about that
because they were using her voice for ChatGPT.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, that's. I mean, I understand fully. Yeah, fucking yeah.
It's weird.
Oh, this is coming out January 2nd, 2026.
Oh my god,
I can't wait.
2026.
What other? Yeah, I don't know why it's gonna take them that long. I don't know.
Well, I'm already gonna forget about this movie. Thanks.
I do wonder what other kind of spin-offs of this universe they'll do.
Yeah. It'll be lucrative.
Next will be the war one where it's just talking about like war drugs.
That's what I was gonna think.
Gonna be dark as shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because that's actually real.
But yeah.
Like, that's the realest one.
Yeah. True. All right, that is the news, fellas and listeners, which means that's it. Now we can move on to our main topic of the week. So let's do that.
Woo, woo.
All right, Devin. We'll see you in a little bit, but for now, Brian, we're going to move on to our main topic of the week, which we're trapped in another fortress. And look at that, Brian. It's more games because, the game stuff in the summer never stops. And this time, we are trapped in a fortress of games that neither you and I will probably ever play, at least for a long time. But we have played many of the remakes that they're talking about in other past games because we were in the fortress of...
not E3 Part 2, not
again.
Switcheroo. What are they going to call the Switch 2? Not the Switcheroo. Was not announced at this. The Nintendo.
Oh, they got to call it the Switch 2 Electric Boogaloo.
No, they're not calling it the Switch 2. They can call it something stupid like the Switch U-turn. Because you're gonna see it and you're gonna U-turn and walk away.
The Switch U-turn. That's funny.
But yeah, it's the Nintendo Direct 2024 for the June.
Yep. Nintendo, they did their not an E3 thing of doing a 40-minute direct about all the stuff they did. And we're just going to go through some of the things because obviously, as we've talked about every time we talk about a Nintendo Direct, we don't play any of these games really anymore. But maybe some of us will now that Devin has a Switch. Alex, we already know has a Switch, but he has no time because he's a dad. So it's up to Devin to play all of these games now.
We believe in you.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're just going to skim through some of the big headers and other interesting things just very briefly. Starting with, let's get started from the top. Mario and Luigi Brothership, which I have, again, I'm going to say this for every game, so just fair warning listeners, I haven't played any of the Mario and Luigi games, but it looks really cool. I didn't know that it also had like weird, like almost like RPG combat elements to them or turn-based combat elements to them, which I thought was kind of interesting. I was like, oh, that's fun. But, look.
You didn't play Mario Luigi Superstar Saga on Game Boy Advance?
Nope.
Amazing game.
Nope.
Really, really good game. I do think it's one
Okay.
of the better RPG-esque games. Honestly, some of the best RPGs that come out of Nintendo are from the Mario and Luigi kind of saga, like from Super Mario RPG all the way to probably this game's going to come out.
Yeah. I know, and like that's the thing. Like to me, it just looks like another Nintendo game. You could have called this Super Mario Brothers 4 or whatever, but I know people love them, and they're all actually well made, really good games, and people are gonna fucking adore this. So I'm happy for those people. It's just never. It slowly not became my thing once I got a PlayStation as a child.
Yeah, it was like, and I think that just came out into the way that consoles kind of spanned, whereas like we all kind of like there was an era where we kind of had to have all systems to like play all the games you wanted to. Nintendo, like N64,
Right.
PlayStation 1 kind of situation there. But then
Mhm.
once PS2, GameCube, things like that came out, it got a little bit more disjointed. It's only gotten worse
Yeah.
since then. Now
Yeah.
Nintendo is like the secondary console that you get. You usually get a main console and then an off console.
Pretty much.
And you might play on PC depending, you know what I mean? And Nintendo's the off console. I never got the off console, so I just don't play Nintendo games anymore, which is so unfortunate because I'm sure I would like them if I played them, but I just don't have the time or the money to do these things.
Yeah. Yeah.
That being said,
basically,
this game, one thing about Nintendo that I will always like respect for first party games that they make is they have a very good polish that I just really like. I don't know. I'm very congratulatory towards because like this game is very pretty. Like it's a cell shaded game. Which I don't know if there's any other Mario games that are cell shaded like this. This might be the first one. I don't know what they did with the Super Mario RPG remake, but like this shit looks good.
It looks
good.
Like
looks just like a cartoon in like the best way possible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Nintendo, they keep that shit on the down low because they have a secret lab of making these games. Man,
I'm telling you, I don't know how you managed to find all the most talented people on the earth. That seems very impossible, but they are managed to do it. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure this game will be very well received just based on what I see from the trailer and just what I know of their previous games. So shout out to them.
Exactly. Yeah. Next big little highlight for me, very briefly, Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. I always loved the Donkey Kong Country games. They were always so much fun. Like though, I just remember playing those on Game Boy. Yeah, love the side scrolly DK games. So good. So pretty fun.
Yeah, these games are amazing. This game looks very pretty once again. And it looks like more Donkey Kong Country that we know.
Yeah, basically. Next up, this is a big one. This was a big one that I didn't know if anyone knew was in the making, but here we go. It's The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, a Zelda game where you actually get to play as Zelda as the protagonist. Who would have thought? Yeah, look, so I didn't watch the direct live, so I had only heard about these releases like through the internet, but I didn't see any footage until afterwards. And so when I heard this, I was like, oh, that's kind of sick. And then I watched it and I was like, oh, they went with this art style. They went with the baby art style for the Link's Awakening remake they just made.
The baby art style.
Oh. Which again, look, it's gorgeous, but compared to like Breath of the Wild, where it's like, oh, that looks like a human person.
Yeah, it's giving like what a remaster of a Game Boy game would be. You know what I mean? Like if they took like Pokemon Fire Red and then turned it into like a remaster, like that's what it looks like, and that's kind of disappointing because like if I want to play as Zelda, I'd like to play as like a full-fledged version of her.
Right,
because this character could literally be anybody. It's just a character in a hood with two black eyes, like it's a Funko Pop running around.
I was literally gonna say it's like a Funko Pop. Yeah, it's a bit disappointing, especially when you like think of like Zelda could also be Sheik,
right?
And so it's like put some combat stuff around that. But look, this game's probably going to be very good, very polished and everything, anyways. But it was just a slightly bit disappointing considering. Yeah, but you know.
I mean, she can't look any worse than Legend of Zelda: Wand of Gamelon, that CDI game that came out. That's probably the last time you were to play a Zelda as like Zelda herself.
Did you just remember that name?
Oh yeah, Wand of Gamelon. Oh yeah. That game's fucking sick, bro. It's it's a terrible game. It's a really atrocious game, and one of the few games that came out on the Philips CDI.
That's so funny. But yeah, this is coming out this year, September 26th. Like again, Nintendo, they've been putting out so much shit. I don't know how they do it.
They have a cadence. Crazy. They have a game release cadence that's very consistent. That like all of their first party games tend to come out around the same time.
It's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I understand how they do it. But yeah, look, cool. Very, very exciting stuff. Yeah. They announced another Super Mario Party Jamboree. Super Mario is a game. It's like Monopoly, but on a console where it's just a bunch of bullshit.
We're not using numbers anymore. Is this one special? I don't. It looks all the same to me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think maybe they just got sick of calling of numbering them. You know.
Yeah. Are they past 10 yet?
Subtitles.
Is it annoying to call it?
I don't know.
Last one I remember was 8, but also there's a Mario Kart 8, so I don't know. Mario Kart 8 was like 8, 9, and 10 for some reason, so that was
right. Right. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. Yeah, fun stuff.
Yeah, Mario Party fucking slaps. Anybody that wants to play with friends, if you have friends, if you don't have friends, that sucks. If you do have friends,
that does suck.
Buy Mario Party. It was a great game.
Buy Mario Party, and also be prepared. You might lose friends over Mario Party.
Because somehow the person in last place is going to get all the stars at the end and beat
the game
you.
Cheats.
Yeah, and you're going to be pissed off at them, and you're going to make them walk home.
Yep. Yeah, basically. Let's skip really quickly to the very end, and then we'll go back. Because the last thing they announced, the big boy, the game. What 5, 6, 7 years since announced? Metroid Prime 4, now subtitled Beyond, was announced. Look, it looked good. It looked good. I can't believe it's actually we see a game.
Samus Aran is a real fucking narcissistic asshole to have a ship that is shaped after her fucking head. That is so disrespectful.
That is so funny. Could you imagine if NASA puts the faces of the astronauts in the plane and
just fucking Buzz Aldrin his face, and then Buzz Aldrin just fucking walks out of it? What kind of fucking dickhead are you?
It's true. It's like, damn, Samus, you're like, all right, we get it, we got you. You the best.
But outside of that,
funny.
No, Metroid Prime. It's so funny because I've only played the first one of these games. It was an amazing game. Don't get me wrong. For the longest time, I did not know they made 2 more of these games, but people love them.
Yeah,
and I mean, it's one of those games again where it's like it's a really pretty game. For somehow they've made this game look pretty on a console that's pretty archaic at this point, for lack of a better word.
Right. And also, considering this game was announced 7 years ago or over 7 years ago and thought to be dead, and had to go through basically started from scratch again for some reason, which again, this is one of those things where I was like, man, I would love to just know the stories. What happened in these 7 years. It's that, and then Metal Gear 5 when that game clearly didn't finish. But
what you'll find out is that a whole lot of nothing happened. That's the issue. There's a lot of clocking into work and doing a whole lot of nothing for 3 years.
But yeah, look, funny enough, I haven't played any of these games. The closest I got was I had a demo that came with I think my Game Boy. It might have been the DS. Yeah, because you use the little stylus to aim.
Oh,
that is the closest I got to aim, and I was like, this is not very fun.
Oh no,
not with the stylus. No, thank you. But yeah, it's a very pretty game, and it looks sick. Yeah. Very cool. I hope it's actually good, and I'm sure it will be.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, Nintendo knows how to do some shit, man. It's crazy. All right, let's hop back and look through some of the stuff. I know you were talking about before we started recording. A little bit of some Marvel vs. Capcom action.
Oh, you want to talk about a soundtrack that slaps? Marvel's Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics. I was a big Marvel's Capcom 2 fan, I believe. I want to say they got ported to the Dreamcast. Oh, yeah. Is it 2 or 3? But I'm pretty sure it was 2.
2's the best one.
And that soundtrack fucking was great. I'm not a huge fighting game fan, but for some reason this game and Dead or Alive both really resonated to me very well. So I have a lot of nostalgia for this game. So that's kind of crazy that they're bringing that back.
Yeah, I always felt like this game was one of the easier and best ones to button mash with.
I mean, for sure.
You could just do, you could just do whatever, and then fucking Wolverine will scream Berserker Charge and do some cool shit.
I love that you remember that, because that's such a strong memory for me.
It is. I love those games. Yeah, they were so fun. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I love that. That's pretty dope. Love those games and that soundtrack. What else was there that we missed? I'm just scrolling through some stuff. Obviously, they announced Stray coming to the Switch, which I know you're a big fan of.
I hate when games like that come to Switch, because it's a really beautiful game, and I know it's not going to be beautiful on Switch.
You don't think the Switch will be able to pull that one off though?
No, I do not. I don't know how Metroid Prime looks as good as it does, but I know that Stray is not good. Any third-party game just doesn't get ported over well for whatever reason. They just don't.
Right.
Because, I guess they're not working in engine there,
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that's true.
So I think that it'll be a fun game to play on the go, but I just don't think they're going to get the same experience that I got.
Can't even fucking make the cat game pretty.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And the game is not even graphically really crazy, but the art style definitely really lends itself to fidelity. And I think when you're lacking that, when you're playing on a 40p screen on your fucking airplane, it's just not gonna hit the same.
Right. That's true. We got to talk about Hello Kitty Island Adventure, aka Animal Crossing Hello Kitty Edition.
It's so funny because everyone's always made fun of a game and called it that. You can't play World of Warcraft. You're a stupid girl. You go play Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Now you can.
Now you can. You totally can. So fucking funny.
And this shit looks dope.
Yo, this is a good fucking midpoint between Animal Crossing games. Like, hell yeah. Like, this will absolutely get people's fix.
Yeah. I mean, farm girl games right now are big. There's a lot to kind of play through and figure out which ones are probably better than others. This one looks straight lifted from Animal Crossing.
Whoa.
Down to like what the characters look like, which is unfortunate because of course Hello Kitty came first, but
right.
To make a game now, so you feel like you're a little bit of a thief.
Little bit.
Animal Crossing is not updating anymore, so maybe this will get the fix that people have kind of wanted for a long time. Or maybe they'll do something different to like really make it, because I do see it looks like some action sections. You can swim as a mermaid, and there's a lava section, and you're on a mine cart. So maybe they're gonna do some quests or something that you have to do.
I'm gonna buy this game for Devin.
Honestly, you probably should. So then I can steal his Switch and I can play
it. I know. I was about to say. This is your next Disney Dreamlight.
I was about to say, for the people that don't know, I played the shit out of Disney Dreamlight. It was a disrespectful amount of time I put into that game. Yeah, I was the Pumpkin King. I had so much money, tens of millions of dollars.
He fucking killed Jack Skellington and took his crown.
I just used to go up to fucking Uncle Scrooge once a day and just go, run me my fucking furniture and just buy the whole store out every single day. I was that motherfucker.
Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny. Yeah, this looks cute. I think it's gonna be a good one for people. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so.
But Brian, speaking of Funko Pops,
oh no,
Funko Fusion, bruh. This is genius, because this is just like any Lego game, but you can do anything because Funko covers whatever. They do everything. This is genius. I cannot believe it took them this long.
It's Fortnite all over again, but ugly. Yeah, people that don't know, I hate Funko Pops. I think I have one Funko Pop, and it is Walter White from Breaking Bad. And he's in the closet because I will not display him because he is hideous. I hate him.
They're pretty ugly. They're funny though. Oh yeah, I don't know how this was inevitable, but it's just so funny. I hope this game slaps. I hope it slaps.
It's funny because like they're going a different route. Like they're not being kid friendly. Like there's blood in the trailer.
Yeah,
there's a dude fighting dinosaurs. And the dude is getting eaten by fucking.
That's what I'm saying, because like they can. Yeah, maybe it's more like it's like a combo of Lego and fucking Team America.
Maybe it seems like they're kind of going that way because they're showing like the shit from like Nope and stuff. Like what is happening here? He shot someone's head off. What the fuck? I don't know. It's crazy.
It's so funny. Oh man. Oh yeah. That's good. That's gonna be a game. That's gonna be a game.
I guess
right there.
We don't get a lot of South Park anymore, so like maybe this is like the new.
Maybe that's just that. Yeah, that could be a work because it's a weird, quirky thing that everyone kind of knows at this point. Make those adorable, weird creatures say some dirty, raunchy things. I don't know.
Yeah. I think that. You might be on the right trend with that. They might be going for a little bit more like adult satire. It's like, I guess it's not technically for children. I don't know.
Yeah, but again, how not for children could it be? It's on Nintendo,
Yeah, but I mean, Nintendo for a long time. They got
The Witcher now.
Yeah, they kept saying that they wanna make more adult games, but they keep not doing it. They've made like 3 total.
Yeah. They got to bring back Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Man, they gotta remaster it again. Just do it again.
Could you imagine if they remastered that again?
And I would buy it again because that game fucking slaps.
That would be so good. That would be so good. Oh, hell yeah. The only other thing I think I saw that I thought maybe you would have know more about. I don't know. Have you ever played any of the Dragon Quest games?
I have not. Of course, I know of them just based on the art style and things like that. But I have not played any of them. But I hear people love them. So
I mean, clearly they're remaking the 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah,
remastering whatever.
They definitely. You can tell they got a lot of influence from. It just Octopath Traveler just came out on Game Pass actually. In the way that they're doing like the mix between the pixel and the 3D. They definitely saw that and it's like we should do what they're doing. Which that's fine. Right. I mean it's a good looking game, so that's whatever. But maybe it's time for me to actually play these. Well, I guess not. I assume this is gonna come out on PC too. I don't know if they say it in the trailer, but this is a game that also come out on PC.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's pretty much it. I mean, I'll shout out this fucking Lord of the Rings Tales of the Shire. You get to be a hobbit. It looks really bad and terrible. Whatever. It looks horrible.
Yeah, it does not look good.
But I think that's it for me, unless you have anything else there, Brian.
I mean, Nintendo has its 3 games that are gonna dominate the market for a few months, and then they'll go back into their hidey hole, and
we'll put out a Switch 2 and make another $1 kajillion.
I still believe the Switch 2 will be called the Switcheroo.
Switcheroo's not bad. Switcheroo's not bad.
I need to go back and put that on my yearly list because I do think that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, Switcheroo's good. Switcheroo's good. I do really like the U-turn.
I mean, because the Wii U is a fucking atrocious console that nobody bought.
It's horrible. If they brought back and called it the Switch U-turn,
I believe it.
I wouldn't put it past them. I would not put it past them.
I mean, that's the thing is like people keep calling the Switch 2, and it's like, when's the last time they call it anything 2? It's always been something ridiculous.
Honestly, so
they're gonna be fuck the Switch name completely. We're gonna call this the Boomerang, and that's just gonna be it. We just gotta accept it.
I was about to say it's gonna be instead it's gonna be called like the plug.
Yeah, literally, and we'll just have to accept that. We just have to accept it, and then the controller is gonna be 2 anal beads, and that's just gonna be your controller. You just got to be like, okay, sure, I guess that's how I play Nintendo games now. Whatever.
Oh, criminy. Yeah. All right, Brian. I think that is it then for the main topic. Shall we now then move into our final segment of the week and also tell Devin to come back in?
Let's do it.
All right, listeners, it is time for our final segment of the week, which we like to call Free For All, title pending. This is a segment where we kind of do whatever we want, talk about our day, life, rant. It is Free For All. Devin, since you got to dip out as soon as we're done here, why don't you go first and tell us what you got here for Free For All?
Oh, boy. Well, guys, as you know, I am now a PC gamer, okay?
Ooh.
Correct.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do that another time. I'm sorry. Let me switch it up.
Wow, way to dangle.
Switch it up. Let me switch it up. I have another story, another anecdote to share with you. I was on a flight to Colorado this last week, and I had brought my Switch. First time I've ever tried to do this, right? Bring a Switch. And I was talking to the guy next to me, whatever, and then the flight starts. And this man pulls out a Steam Deck. And he's like,
oh, shit.
Playing, and I'm like, oh shit, because I didn't want to be the first one to do it.
Watch this, bitch.
Yeah, I didn't want to be the first one to do it, so I was like, oh damn, he pulls out Steam Deck, man. Yo,
hilarious.
That thing was awesome. He was playing, he had all kinds of stuff that he could play on that. He was showing it to me.
I've never seen one in the wild before.
Yeah, me neither. But he was playing I think Mad Max, which is maybe an old 360 game, maybe.
Yeah,
from 2015 or whatever.
Why the fuck was he playing that game? What's wrong with this guy?
Don't ask me.
That boy's a psychopath.
That's hilarious.
He had so many other.
I mean, not a bad game, but hilarious.
And he could port. He had Breath of the Wild on there. He said he could port that. I'm like, how do you do that?
Of course, you talked to him. You had an actual conversation with this man.
Yeah, I was like, dude, Steam Deck looks pretty sick. But anyway, then I played Breath of the Wild and caught up on that a good bit. So it was a good way to spend a flight. So Nintendo Switch or Steam Deck, very, very good stuff.
I was always lukewarm about the Steam Deck because I was like, I just don't feel like I'd like to mobile game enough for it to be worth it. But everybody I know that owns one preaches its praises as if it's the second coming of Jesus. Everyone loves it. It is something that you need. It's a piece of hardware that you just need. any game that you like kind of like want to grind, but you don't want to like sit at your computer and play. You just play it in bed or on the couch while you're watching TV. Perfect. And I'm like, fuck, maybe I should get one, but I'm not gonna.
And I wonder if it could like, it's only like what, $400, and then
I think the cheapest model is like $350, $400.
And do you have to have a PC with it? Because I think maybe his thing was like he had a Switch as well.
It is its own PC, so like you can play it like without having an actual, like it's not like kind of like a Steam, the other kind of Steam hardware that you actually have like a PC and it kind of like, you know, I can like use Xbox Game Pass on your phone. It's not like that.
Right.
You don't need like an internet connection.
I was a little fuzzy on the details of how he got like Breath of the Wild.
Oh, I'm sure that takes some actual real work, because even getting like Epic Game Store to work on it takes like some actual effort.
Okay. So maybe there are some cons, but either way, he was running it pretty smooth. I mean, yeah, it looks pretty cool. So,
Devin's got a new piece of hardware he's gonna get. He's committed now.
No. I'm very happy. I'm very happy with the Switch. It honestly, a 4-hour flight. I mean, listen, that's perfect for Breath of the Wild. So
yeah,
I was pretty happy with that. So, yeah,
nice. Oh yeah, man, that's pretty sick. I love it. Well, guys, I can quickly go next because Eigen got shit. So I'm gonna talk about my dreams and my hopes. No, yeah, it was just a busy week. I guess I could say I saw a couple of shows that some friends were in around the area. So funny enough, I saw my middle school and high school drama teacher.
Oh my gosh!
In a play this past week. So it was very fun to see her act and perform for the first time.
That's pretty cool to see her perform. In your life. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, so it was very fun to see that. It was hilarious. And she was great. I was like, that's so funny. So that was fun. That was a good time. And then I saw another friend in just like another over the top ridiculous musical. That was very fun, and they crushed it. And shout out to them. But yeah, it was just that was pretty much it. Everything else was a little busy week. It was a busy week. But yeah, so short and sweet. Shout out to God of War Ragnarok. I haven't gotten back to Final Fantasy yet, but I will one of these days.
Nice. Yeah, I guess I'll go last real quick as well. I am revisiting Cyberpunk 2077, a game that had a very rough start, but is now in many people's graces. I'm still playing like the main story. I haven't gotten to the DLC or anything like that yet. I'm not even close to beating the game, I'm sure. But I put it down for a while because other games were kind of taking priority, and I want to talk a little bit about Keanu Reeves' character. So I want to kind of talk about how this might be his best role that he's ever had. And I want to say why. So I want y'all to correct me because I could be wrong. But as far as the Keanu Reeves movies that I've seen, he's mainly played like kind of the same character. But in this character, he plays a big fucking dick. Right. And I don't know any other places where he's played a big fucking dick. So that's why I'm like, I think this is where he was really cooking, because he plays a character called Johnny Silverhand, who was an old school gang member that was big on like he's basically kind of like new age Kurt Cobain, that he's big on like anti-establishment, anti-corporation, things like that. But he did a big thing that Kurt Cobain, of course, didn't, which didn't commit suicide, and also he blew up a fucking corporate building. So he actually was a full ass terrorist in the game. Yeah, his storyline takes place in 2023, and he is actually try to fully, destroy the corporate America that we know today. Of course, 50 years later, we know that didn't actually happen, because that's how life works, unfortunately. But his character is so interesting because he is so fucking unlikable. And he's surprisingly good at being so unlikable. And that is a space that I haven't seen him be before, because he usually plays like the very like, oh, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, stale face motherfucker is usually the character that he plays. Exactly, blank slate. He might as well be fucking Link in Legend of Zelda. But in this, he is, every single time you see him, every single time he pops up, he's just calling you slurs and just saying just ridiculous shit, and just being a generally bad person, to the point where it's like it actually like makes me physically mad, the same way that like Joffrey made me mad in Game of Thrones, for example.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he is just a bad person. And like to have him follow you around while also being a shithead is like such a frustrating experience, but like in a good way, because it's like a very big dichotomy, because you're like, the character I play, of course, you have choices. So very Witcher-esque, of course. So you have choices in how like the world kind of unfolds. So like, of course, I'm making good choices. Like, yeah, I'm going to spare this person. And then he'll pop up and be like, no, fuck that idiot. We got to kill him. And it's like, bro, shut up. Get out of my face.
The devil
Stop.
on your shoulder.
Yeah, he's very much devil on your shoulder kind of situation. He just does it so well.
That's funny.
So I just want to talk about how interesting that is because as far as like when I first saw him announced in this game back in 2018, 2019, I was like, there's no way he's going to be anything interesting in this game. And to be honest, he's kind of the most interesting part of it, but in a bad way.
Right.
And maybe a good way. I don't know. It kind of depends on how his story arc kind of goes. If he like has a redemption or something like that, it might feel good. But right now it's like, I kind of hate him. And I can't tell whether or not the game would be better or worse without him. But it's an interesting addition, I guess.
Also,
cool,
it's like, he's like in it. He's in the game.
He is in it.
It's not a cameo. Like
he is a main character in that game. He is definitely the supporting character of the game. He is the main other person. Like, yeah,
that's so nice.
Which I didn't expect either. So I was like, oh, this is real. So shout out to him for even wanting to do something like this because this is definitely like a venture that I didn't expect him to want to engage in.
That's cool.
Pretty sick though.
I mean,
that's
hey
cool
man,
shit.
It's like The Rock, Like I feel like being a villain must be more fun to act in.
It's got to be, right?
Oh yeah.
There's a lot more people that could do it than we think, right? But they just get typecast for the same thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
I agree 100%.
I can maybe kind of see it a little bit, like, cute.
That's pretty
a little
fun.
bit more the John Wick side of just like just edge a little bit more towards the radical and kind of like that movie. I mean,
he is very radical. I will tell you that.
That's pretty cool. And it's also cool that it makes you feel something, right? Because like.
That's my thing. It's like he could so easily just be a throwaway character, but he's like a character that actually is actively frustrating. And I mean, spoilers away, he's kind of like a character like there's a reason he's so frustrating for multiple reasons. So I like the way that they kind of really play into it. It's like, yeah, of course he's gonna piss you off, right? So.
Dude, CD Projekt Red does a good job of that because I remember a few people in The Witcher where like you have to work with them or like that you're supposed to, and like you kind of don't like them. Like Lambert, like he's an asshole. Like fuck that guy, but he's your guy. Like you got to back him up.
Well, turn around and slice that man's head off. What do you mean?
Yeah, that's really cool. I got to play that at some point.
That is dope.
It is gotten a lot better. I don't know what it looked like before. The GTA aspect of it, and we'll get into it. The GTA aspect of it is a little mediocre, but like the actual moment to moment and the story beats are actually very compelling. Like I do find it still to be like as interesting of a story to me as The Witcher kind of was.
That's cool.
Nice. Hell yeah. Okay. Sick. It's a playable, good game.
Yeah, finally.
We love that.
Don't play it on PS4 though. It'll turn into a doorstop.
Yeah, no. No. Don't do that. Very nice. That's sick. All right, listeners. That is our show for the week. You can email us at thefortressof@gmail.com, fortress.fou, feel free to email us any feedback, questions, recommendations, or anything like that. But also Twitter, Instagram, and the YouTube channel at The Fortress of. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your grandma, tell your cat. Follow the 3 Bollywood R's, rate, review, and recommend us to anyone and everyone you know. Thank you, Jackie, for helping edit the podcast every week. Thank you, Brian, for the art, Alex, for the music, and Devin, thank you for being here, even when you're not here. Brian, you can find him at Instagram on Instagram at ITC_by the way. Alex at Peterson Films, and Devin, you can find him as the guy who doesn't wear pants on work calls.
Well, right now it's reverse, right? Usually you wear
now
the
it's
shirt,
reversed.
not the pants. So.
Yeah.
Having a shirt and no pants is actually crazy. What are you, fucking Tommy Pickles?
No. I've never actually done that. Okay, I go full suit whenever I wear a suit. But there are people you see stuff on the internet.
It's true. Next week, listeners, I don't know. We'll figure some stuff out. It might be a short week. We're all gonna be really busy. This coming week, so who knows? It might be a mini-sode. But also in the future, maybe we'll talk about Quiet Place. That's about to come out soon. Quiet Place Day 1, which I'm excited to see at some point. But yeah, fun stuff's coming up. Lots of stuff. House of the Dragon still going on. The Acolyte, The Boys. It's a summer of stuff.
Summer of shows.
Anyways, yeah. And as usual, happy holidays, everyone, and put a code on. Let's code out there. No weather talk today. All right. We'll see you here next week then, listeners, on another episode in the Fortress of...